Shalom, and welcome to another edition of The Truth Shall Make You Free. I'm your host, Elder Nathanyel, on my right,
Deacon Asaph.
Today's topic, we're going to go over the truth of Thanksgiving. All right, but before we do so, let's open up with John chapter 8 and verse 32.
John chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So black man, black woman, Latin man, Latin woman, the truth is that you're the Israelites. You were made slaves in America for breaking God's commandments. If you want deliverance, you must repent as the Israelites and keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. So let's open up with 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
That place is America. What's called America today. Go ahead.
That they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then showed them signs for them, and held still the floods, till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go.
Meaning from Assyria throughout the area where they traveled through the Euphrates was a great way to go. Go ahead.
Namely of a year and a half.
So it took them a year and a half to get over here.
And the same region is called Arsareth.
So this region that we call America was called Arsareth at one time. Okay. So proving to you that what? The 10 tribes that came over here that you call Indians, the Bible calls the 10 tribes of Israel. From there, let's go to Hosea.
Hosea chapter 11, verse 10. They shall walk after the Lord.
So the prophecy says that the Israelites shall walk after the Lord.
He shall roar like a lion.
He shall roar like a lion. Go ahead.
When he shall roar, then the children shall tremble from the west.
The Israelites shall tremble what?
From the west.
From the west. What does it mean? We shall tremble from the west. The Western Hemisphere, okay? That's what this side of the world is called, the Western Hemisphere, because over on Jerusalem's side, it's called the Eastern Hemisphere. Is that it?
There's more.
Go ahead.
They shall tremble as a bird out of Egypt.
Because we're going to be delivered from this captivity called spiritually called Egypt. Go ahead.
And as a dove out of the land of Assyria. And I will place them in their houses, saith the Lord.
The Most High is going to bring us back to our homeland. From there, let's go to Deuteronomy 33. Because some of you don't understand that just as the prophet Ezra prophesied the 10 tribes will come on this side of the world, the prophet Moses prophesied the same thing. Deuteronomy 33, let's read verse 1 first.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 1. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death.
So now from there, jump down to verse 20.
Verse 20.
All I want is 20.
And Gad, he said.
And Gad, he said. Who is Gad? Gad are the ones you call today the North American Indians. Read it again.
And Gad, he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad.
Blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. Go ahead.
He dwelleth as a lion.
Meaning that the tribe of Gad would dwell like a predator. Okay? That's what it means, was as a lion. They were predators upon the land here. Go ahead.
And teareth the arm with the crown of the head.
What does it mean? This is how we know that the North American Indians are the tribe of Gad. Read that again.
And of Gad he said, blessed he that enlargeth Gad. He dwelleth as a lion, and teareth the arm with the crown of the head.
What does that part mean? He teareth the arm with the crown of the head. The tribe of Gad, the North American Indians, have something called a blood brother ritual, where they would they would go to the leader of the tribe, and they would cut their arm and mingle their blood together. That was a custom that they had. Read that part again.
And teareth the arm with the crown of the head.
And why does it specify the crown of the head? Huh? Because the tribe of Gad had an unusual crown that was different than all the kings and leaders of the world. What was their crown? Okay, their crown was made up of eagle's feathers. Okay, was that it? All I want is that verse 20.
That's it.
Go to 1 Chronicles chapter 12 and verse 8.
And of the Gadites, there separated themselves unto David into the whole to the wilderness men of might and men of war, fit for the battle,
fit for the battle,
that could handle shield and buckler,
that could handle shield and buckler,
whose faces were like the faces of lions,
whose faces were like the faces of lions. Remember what Moses said about them, okay? Moses said that they would dwell upon the land like lions. When it says here, whose faces were like the faces of lions, what did the North American Indians used to do regarding their faces? Before they went to battle, they would put on what they call war paint, okay? And their faces looked fierce, okay? Was that it?
And were as swift as the roes upon the mountain.
Then it says here that the tribe of Gad, which are the North American Indians, were as swift as deers upon what?
Upon the mountains.
Upon the mountains. This tribe was bad. That's why when you examine the 12 tribes, they were the last tribe to be conquered and overcome. And the white man could not do it alone. They had to get the tribe of Judah, the American black you call today. They had to get the tribe of Benjamin, the West Indian black, and the tribe of Issachar, the so-called Mexican, to help them overcome the tribe of Gad. Read that part again. Verse 8.
And the buckler, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as roes upon the mountain.
Because the white man said in history, they couldn't overcome them. They couldn't catch them. They needed help. Read.
And of the Gadites, they separated themselves unto David into the whole to the wilderness, men of might and men of war, fit for the battle, that could handle shield and buckler, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as the roes upon the mountain.
Because when you read the history, they said these guys are too swift for us. That's why they had to get the buffalo soldiers, okay, to help overcome them. That's why they had to get the so-called Mexicans to help overcome them. Okay, from there, let's go back to Deuteronomy 33 and verse 20 again. This is for all you non-believers out there. This is how we know the Genesis and Deuteronomy proves who the tribes are. Whether you accept it or not, it doesn't mean anything. Because the word of God shall flourish. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 20. And of Gad he said, Blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. He dwelleth as a lion.
He dwelleth as a lion, meaning a predator. He was a powerful warrior, this tribe. Go ahead.
And teareth the arm with the crown of the head.
The blood brother covenant that they would make. Okay, with the crown of the head, they had an unusual crown made up of feathers. Go ahead.
That's it on
Read to 21.
21. And he provided the first part for himself.
Now listen good to this part. Read it again.
And he provided the first part for himself.
When the tribes came on this side of the world, it says the tribe of Gad provided the first part for himself. What does it mean, the first part? The best part. That's why North America, what you call today, is the headquarters of the so-called white man. They realized that of all the lands from North, Central, South America, even Canada, they said North America, that area there, that region is the best. Read it again, verse 21.
And he provided the first part for himself, because therein a portion of the lawgiver was he seated.
So the tribe of Gad was seated as a lawgiver. Why? Because the tribe of Levi was cast out, as we proved to you in the book of Chronicles chapter 11 on other shows. Go ahead.
And he came with the heads of the people.
Notice, and he came with the heads of the people. Who were the heads of the people? Ephraim and Manasseh during this time. Go ahead.
He executed the justice of the Lord.
The tribe of Gad executed the justice of the Lord.
And his judgments with Israel.
And his judgments with Israel. From there, let's go to Psalms 49 now. Psalms 49. So what happened? When the so-called white man came on this side of the world with the pilgrims, because every year you celebrate what's called Thanksgiving. And you like to talk about the first Thanksgiving, about how the so-called Indians and the so-called pilgrims, the white man, they were so peaceable and loving with Squanto, the Indian who could speak both English and the Indian dialect, which was Hebrew, by the way, and they could converse. And they made peace, and they had turkey and squash and cranberry sauce. That's all bullcrap, malarkey, and lies. Listen good to what I'm telling you. Psalms 49 and 11.
Psalms 49 verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Who is David talking about when he says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever? The white man. They believe that they shall explore and seek out new frontiers, to dwell with and go where no man has gone before. That's why they create movies like Star Trek and all this Star Wars and all that.
Right.
Well, read it again.
Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Watch this.
And their dwelling places to all generations.
Here it comes.
They call their lands after their own names.
They call their lands after their own names. They call their lands after their own names. When the so-called white man came on this side, remember, it was not Columbus that came to the mainland, North America. Who was it? Who discovered it? Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian navigator. And after Amerigo Vespucci derived the name America. Okay, some books have it translated Americus Vespucci. Okay, so he came to this side in 1493. Okay, and his name was the name put on this continent over here. So from there, Deuteronomy 28 now. So now we've proven to you what has happened, okay? How did this land become known as America? Psalm 49:11. God proved it and showed you it. Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. Listen good.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Jump down to verse 30. Listen good.
Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife.
Thou shalt betroth a wife.
And another man shall lie with her.
Did that happen with the so-called American Indians, the Indians on this side of the world? Huh? Did they have wives and another man raped them? Yes! When a white man came and conquered, they were raping the so-called Native American women. Read.
Thou shalt build an house.
Did they have houses on this side? Yes! And when they were on a run, they set up what's called teepees or tabernacles or booths. Okay? Read it again.
Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Read.
Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
Did the so-called American Indians have vineyards in this side of the world? Yes. Because some of you unlearned Negroes say, oh, they don't fit the prophecy. Negro.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.